the Constitution is used every day. It's used in the courts. The courts are always interpreting the Constitution. It's used by legislators. It's used by the governor. It's used by the president, both the federal and the state constitutions, in terms of thinking about how they have the power to do what it is that they want to do. And one thing I think that's so interesting about the Constitution is we think of it as a democratic document, and the document that governs our constitutional democracy. That's how we think of it. And the word democracy doesn't appear in the Constitution. So it really is about how do we interpret it and how do the courts interpret it. One thing that's very different about CUNY is that we start constitutional law from day one. So on the first day of school, you get a constitutional law course that really talks about the major constitutional principles of equality and of liberty and of personal rights. And in that course, we talk about race, we talk about class and poverty, we talk about gender, we talk about sexuality, we talk about immigration. One thing that's wonderful about CUNY is that it's a very diverse class. And so people have lots of different interests. But generally what they see is that even if they think that they're not interested in one particular part, like even if they think they're not interested in disability, the disability cases really illuminate how other cases are decided. So they illuminate how racial cases are decided, gender cases are decided, sexuality cases are decided, and maybe some other identity category that we haven't thought about yet. Courses like race in the law, gender in law, feminist legal theory, sexuality in the law, immigration law, poverty law. Those courses at CUNY are really advanced in terms of what's able to be done in the classroom. So having visited at other law schools and taught some of those courses, you really have to start really from the beginning of base constitutional principles. And most of the course is devoted to that. So by the time you get to anything that's advanced and really interesting, the course is over. But at CUNY, our students already know those things. And so we can do really sorts of innovative and very sophisticated work. Well, most of our students come in very excited about it, and they come in with a social justice mission. And so then they see how the Constitution links to that. And one thing that happens is many of them in their first summer jobs, when they go out and do internships, they come back and say, yes, I was the only person at my summer job who knew anything about the Constitution. We don't study the theories just to talk about them. We talk about the theories in terms of how you would litigate a case. How could you use these theories? So you don't walk into court and just say, well, this is an old document, and who were those old white men anyway? You try and talk about what that might mean and how more recent cases will be more favorable to the social justice outcome that you would like.